Hello and welcome to Series 2, Episode 5 of Footy Talks Pod. I am again joined by James, Paddy and Toby.
Hello.
How are we? We good?
No, I'm not good, Josh, not gonna lie.
It's an awful week in football. Awful week.
Oh, quite a good week, to be fair.
Oh, shut up,
no,
Toby.
no one cares.
I mean, Toby and I had quite a fun week. We beat Man United and we won.
Oh, you beat Mulder. Wow.
Okay. So you lost to Arsenal in Istanbul. What's your point?
No.
No, sorry.
Is this what it's just going to be? You just laughing?
We're going to have to cut this bit out. Let's restart the recording.
No.
Flash is still on.
I've never seen James in this bad of a mood. It's quite funny.
Okay,
Let's just stop the recording.
Let's start with Man United Arsenal at the weekend. It was a pretty poor game in terms of quality. My man in the match was Paul Pogba. I think he was world class.
That's not even funny.
I don't even know who man the match could be. It was so boring. I don't even think that both teams even played. The only thing I remember genuinely was that Aubameyang putting the penalty in. I don't remember anything else in the game. I can't name you one attack, one defensive action that anyone made.
To be honest, I was on a train back from Derby for most of the game, so I didn't manage to catch the whole game.
You fake fan.
You didn't miss anything.
From what I did see, we were on top. I think Willian hit the bar. Saka missed the header from close range. I saw bits and pieces. I didn't see the whole. And then my internet cut out just as we got into the box and Pogba made the foul. And then I saw the clip on Twitter of the Aubameyang penalty.
Right, can I ask? Did you think it was a penalty?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a penalty. It was soft.
People were like, I watched like the kickoff, like the True Geordie thing, and they were saying it's not a penalty. I was like,
it was soft.
It was soft, and it was, I think, more just dumb than anything.
That's just Pogba down soft and dumb.
Yeah, and even Pogba came out afterwards and said that it was his fault for giving the penalty away and that he needs to do better. And I was like, right, well, at least you're taking some initiative on it, but it's dumb of you to do it anyways. But
I mean, Bellerin seemed to be going away from the goal as well. It wasn't as if he was cutting.
It was a stupid decision. It was a stupid tackle. There's no other way.
But I don't know. It was anyway. It was what it was. Aubameyang scored the penalty, made Old Trafford his dance floor, and it was the start of a very bad. James looks so angry.
Look, right. Do you want me to tell you why I'm angry this week? Right.
Have a run. We love this.
Have a run. Go on.
Right. Arsenal United was just the epitome of both teams this year. They finally sorted out their god-awful defences, but the way that they've sorted out their...
We haven't sorted out our defence. Did you not see last on Wednesday night?
I mean, in that game, Paddy, how many goals did we concede in the game?
1.
How many of them weren't from penalties?
None.
Exactly. So he actually didn't concede a goal against.
What? So you're saying that because Man United didn't really have a good shot or anything, that means Arsenal are back to the invincible days with Tony Adams and Martin Keown?
When did I say that?
Well, no, but you're saying we sorted out the defences.
Yeah, that's not saying... Right, if I said, oh yeah, Manchester United finally sorted out how to score goals, I didn't mean that we actually got Ollie back on the pitch and we got Teddy Sheringham back here and Dwight and York to sort it all out. No, it means that maybe Anthony Martial actually could get a shot in the back of the net. We sorted out our defences because both teams didn't actually score. We didn't get a decent chance to score. The Willian crossbar or whatever might have been the closest thing, but at the same time, Greenwood had shots. It's like... It was the most 0-0 game ever because both teams figured out, right, this is how we're going to sort our defence out. We're going to put 2 DMs in front so the other team won't score. But because they did that, no one's focused on attack. And that's why this season, both our attacks have been absolutely shite. They've been terrible. Both our defences, fine, except for Spurs. The attacks, however, we've just done nothing. I can't name a single, game where we've actually had promising attacks from everyone at once. It's just so painful to watch because we've had to sort out the defence. So when we go, so in the Premier League, because obviously Leipzig 5-0, we'd actually figured out how to play football for once. What we actually did against Arsenal was go, right, well, it worked against Leipzig, this, high pressing team, really physical, really intense. So it worked against Mikel Arteta's side, that side that just sit back and don't play football and do nothing. So it wasn't going to work. So when we played a box, which had McTominay and I think was it McTominay and Fred at the base, and then it was just Pogba and Bruno doing whatever they want, it wasn't going to work. It was a terrible, terrible way to do it because when you're playing that, you're forcing it down the wings. And it's like, what? You're forcing it to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang? Like, of course he was going to, cause a little bit of trouble, if any, but it was all right because we had Wan-Bissaka. So then you're forcing it down the other wing, which is to Hector Bellerin, who just happens to be a bit quick. So when we've got a bad enough left back in Luke Shaw as it is, he's going to get through. Paul Pogba's going to have to make a bad challenge because we have just such an awful, awful tactical outlook when it comes to the Premier League because we always like playing as the underdog. That's why we were fine against PSG, against Leipzig. But when teams are going to come to Old Trafford, they're going to not fancy themselves. So when we play in this defensive underdog system, it's not going to work. And it's thoughtless from Ollie. Absolutely thoughtless. And he's been getting praise for being a tactical genius almost this season against PSG, against PSG and against Leipzig. Everyone's kind of saying, oh yeah, well, he's finally sorted out his tactics. But when it comes to the Premier League, he's got not a clue. Doesn't know how to do anything. And that's why Donny van de Beek sits on the bench.
I was shocked how you set up. I mean, away at Old Trafford, away days in general, especially away at Old Trafford, is somewhere traditionally you'd set up more defensively and try to hit them on the counter. And I think that's where Arteta got it right. I was a bit surprised with some of the selections, but it proved fruitful when it worked. You matched us, or whatever it is. I was shocked that you as a home team, Man United, we joke around and we have a bit
Josh,
of a
we don't play as the home team anymore. We always play as the away. That's how it feels.
Yeah, but this is the problem. This is what I'm saying. It's you are Man United.
That doesn't matter anymore. We're not Man United. We're just a very bad, we're not a big. I wouldn't say we're a big team anymore. We're a massive team club.
No, we're a big team. We are a big team.
You're a big team. This is what I mean. You're Man United. You think of what you have been. Yeah, we joke around and both Arsenal and Man United haven't been what they've been before in quite a while. But still, teams go to Old Trafford and think that it's a place that you won't traditionally win.
What? So what's happened this season? We got battered by Palace. We got battered by Tottenham. We haven't won a home game this season.
This is what I mean. Traditionally,
in the Premier League, we haven't. How would you say now? This is what I'm saying. This season, we're not. No one's theory.
Yeah. That's the point. It's
this is my point. This season, something has happened, either tactically or it's a motivation thing or whatever it is, and you've decided to set up so defensively, and like you said, treat every game like an away game.
Was this. I'll tell you what happened. There was this weird thing where over the past, I'd say 6 or 7 years, Manchester United had an inability to actually transfer and build a defence. So we ended up getting some lad from Southampton who unfortunately turned into a naff left back. We got some Swedish bloke who could fill in at centre back and maybe do some games decently now and then. We got another guy from a pub who had a fight in Greece and now has been hanging that over his head for the past few months, understandably so. And then we got the best right back in England. And it's that's not going to work as a defence. So we're having to cover that when teams come to us because they know they've got a chance. You don't go up nowadays, and I want to take that back about everything I said about Shaw, Lindelof and Maguire because that was a bit harsh, but I won't take that one for Saka. But you look at that defence, and I can bet you any attack in the league right now, except for probably Fulham and West Brom, thinks that they can do something because they're just not on it right now, and they don't look like they will get on it. I can't think right now of those guys at their best what they do for United. They're not a pack four that's gonna at their best keep clean sheets against Liverpool. I don't even think they could keep clean sheets against Man City at their best. It doesn't look like that. It'd take like the other team to have a bad day off for us to get clean
Well,
sheets.
that's exactly, yeah. PSG had a bad day against us. Like, we
Yeah.
beat them. Like, Leipzig
Had a bad day.
were very disappointing considering what I thought about them. We smashed them. Like, if Tottenham, their attack, if they have a, like, yes, the red card in that game changed it a bit. But it's, even without the red card, they were still beating us that day.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
I think like, as well as you said about the defense, we're not like, we can't help that the defense is bad as well. Yes, but I think Ollie is getting to a point where I think we can get more out of the players without him. I think if Poch is available, I'd just say go get him.
It was an interesting. It was an interesting setup. You're right. It was a terrible game of football. It was both teams were treating it like an away game and hoping the other made a mistake, and inevitably and ultimately that's what happened. And Arsenal capitalised, and then you didn't try and fight back. It seemed it sort of was like we scored, and then you were like,
we've seemed to play for a draw in 2 home games in a row. Yes, Chelsea are on paper a good side, and Arsenal, yes, okay, we can call them a big team as well. But I don't know why we're just trying to play for draws in the situation
Toby
we're
loves
at.
that. Little wry smile out of Toby there when he said big team.
Wait, we're a massive club, biggest in the world.
I wouldn't say we're not going into this discussion again because that took about 3 hours last time.
Yeah,
But
no, we don't need to. We don't need
but,
to.
like,
We already know.
the fact that we're struggling to get, we were considered probably the most feared home team of probably a long time, and the fact that we haven't won a game at home in the league is just, I find it's embarrassing. Like, I'm watching the game and like now my expectation for every game now is just, I'll be happy with the point. Like, it just is at the moment. You go into every game and you think, oh, we're not going to win it. Right.
Well, that's what my attitude going into this United game was. And pretty much
exactly.
every away game against the top 6 in the last.
That was because based on the past time, you haven't won since 2006 at our place.
Yeah.
In the league.
So
in the league.
In the league, yes, I know.
I was going to say,
so I
are you
that,
guys, as Arsenal fans, were you happy with taking a 1-0 in a boring match with a penalty?
They could have won more.
Yeah, of course.
100%.
3 points.
One more. We won. Was you happy with the performance? Was you happy that Arsenal Football Club is playing that way?
I thought Arsenal played really well.
We did what we needed to do. I was disappointed that maybe Aubameyang didn't score from open play, or there wasn't something from open play, but I think we played well. Willian came close. Saka should have scored his header probably.
And we just take the win.
But I think El Neni was brilliant. I think he was fantastic. He did.
What's happened to him? Like, you were all mocking him, and now I don't like it.
I was fuming when he started first game of the season against Fulham. I was so angry because I thought we'd missed out on Partey. I thought we'd missed out on Awar, and I thought it would be horrible in our midfield. And then he started, and I was expecting a Xhaka and Ceballos midfield, and he started then, and I questioned Arteta's decisions again. He has proven to be one of our most important players this season. And considering he was out of the team last year, I don't know what's happened or what Mikel Arteta has seen in him that Emery and Wenger haven't, but he looked a changed player. And I think he did
what I've seen, it is Mikel Arteta where he is focusing on, like, before he even thinks about scoring goals, his first thing is, how do I keep a clean sheet? And El Neni, for as average a footballer as he is going forward, he's decent when it comes to actually defending and getting a bit of grit, and he does all right in that regard. And I think signing of the season, player of the match at the weekend, Thomas Partey, him next to El Neni is only going to shore him up, because Partey can do the taking the ball forward. Partey can do the hitting the passes short, long, and making the challenges, and he can carry the ball fairly well too. And I think that's exactly what El Neni needs. It's like having the Nemanja Matic, and then shooting like Fred next to him on a very, very, like, obviously I'm not putting Fred on Partey's level, but it's like taking a very only defensive midfielder who can probably spray a couple of okay balls, and then put next to him is a bit more all action, can go forward, box to box type player.
I'm now at the point where I was annoyed on Thursday and then he came on because I wanted him to play against Villa.
Okay.
And have enough and like not risk him getting injured.
Mm-hmm.
Which I never thought.
Is it becoming that important for you then?
This is what I mean. I never thought I'd be at that point with Elneny. I thought he's a squad player, dispensable. Maybe we could get 10 million for him in the summer and then reinvest.
I forgot he played for you, to be honest.
This is what I mean.
But now, surely, are you now thinking that you want to settle with 2 defensive midfielders against Aston Villa? Because this is the problem that I have with Man United. We have to play Fred and McTominay every week, and that's 2 defensive, in my opinion.
See, this is what I mean. I think the tactics is another point. I think if we continue with the 5 or 3 at the back and 5 in the midfield or whatever, however you want to set it up.
You finished with a flat back 7 last week.
But I mean, it's if you play that 5 at the back, you can afford to have Xhaka, you can afford to have Partey and Elneny. 4-3-3, I think you could probably afford it as well if we bring in a decent attacking midfielder, whether that be Awar. I can't pronounce his name. I'm not even going to try and attempt it. Is it the Leipzig or Salzburg?
Yeah.
Oh, Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well done. Or whether Willock gets a chance in the first team, Premier League squad rather than Europa League.
Willock's done well.
Against Mulder. And this
is what I mean. But I think Partey can be more of a advanced midfielder rather than a deep lying one. And then he offers that cover. Partey can do both, and then an attacking creative midfielder can stay forward. I think that's our best midfield pairing.
It does look all right.
It looks like. I think watching the Arsenal game, like, I would have rather spent the money we spent on Van de Beek for Partey. Partey would
easily.
Yeah, Partey would fit our team perfectly, I think.
Yeah. This is why I just wanted Arsenal to pay up the whole time, because we know what his release clause was the whole season. I thought we'd miss out, and it was awful.
We were trying to play.
I don't know how you signed him as well, because you're not even in the Champions League, and he was playing for Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, because we're big boys.
You're not big. Don't ever say that again.
We were big boys. We were trying to, I think, play Lyon and Atleti against each other. We were trying to say, right, we'll do this and wait and try and get Awar and make Atletico think we can't afford Partey and then hit them late. And then by not activating Partey's release clause, because if we activated that, Lyon know we have money to sign Awar. So that we were trying to, in the end, we got Partey, which obviously delighted with. And I think proved it again against Man United. Speaking of United,
here we go.
I'm going to laugh at you again for the Champions League performance against Liverpool, which again, probably apart from Arsenal, only Man United could beat PSG and Leipzig and lose to Istanbul. It was a comical performance, really. I mean, the Demba Ba goal was ridiculous. How Demba Ba at 35, 36 can run half a pitch?
Because Matic was running behind him.
He had a 40-yard head start, to be fair. No one was on the halfway line.
Yeah, but he would have slowed down by the edge of the box. He should have, and he still managed to. And then their second goal, your defenders seem to be socially distanced from the Istanbul striker.
Oh, you're loving this, aren't you?
I am loving it. It's going to come back and bite me. We're going to get slapped 5-0 by Villa at the weekend, but I don't care. I'm reveling in it until it happens. You went 2-0 down. Martial.
The Andre Villas-Boas philosophy. I don't know if you saw this in the week. For you to be, and I won't use his words. Actually, I've already used it well. For you to be bad in the Champions League, you have to at least qualify for the Champions League and play badly to be called bad. So we've at least achieved that. At least we can say that we've been bad in the Champions League, rather than all right in the Europa League. But yeah, as you were saying, it's terrible performance. I think it's one of the worst I've seen Bruno play.
Yeah.
He looked like he was just didn't have a plan, didn't have a spark in him, didn't have any idea of how he was going to get like into a deeper back line. And it was like, so I think the United squad and Ollie knew or thought they'd had 3 points before we'd even caught the plane.
That's what I was going to say. Do you think Solskjær took it seriously or took the win for granted, giving Dean Henderson his European debut?
No, but Dean, that's not that. No, you can't blame Dean. No, Dean Henderson.
I'm not blaming Henderson at all. I'm not blaming him. I think he's a great keeper, and I think he should be.
No, Dean Henderson wasn't part of the problem at all. He had a fine game.
No chance.
Neither goal was his fault.
This is what I'm saying. I'm not blaming Henderson for anything. I'm saying to make his European debut in this game, right, is Solskjær taking stuff for granted?
No, I don't think it's taken for granted. Henderson probably one of the best goalkeepers in the league last year.
No, Dean Henderson wasn't. What he was taking for granted was the way he set up, and what he was taking for granted was the fact that he thought that his players didn't have to have a plan against this team, and the fact that he could just roll out players like Bruno Fernandes and expect them to do the work. So that's what he took for granted. Dean Henderson, perfectly fine. Dean Henderson out there would have done just as good a job as David De Gea. David De Gea doesn't save either of those 2 goals because the defence was so poor that it's a 1-on-1 against an experienced striker and then a cut across. So it's going to go in. What was poor was the things like corner kick routines. We knew that was where they were going to hit us because it's like it's a David versus Goliath. And when that sort of happens, you know those types of clubs are going to have a decent little set of corner kick tactics they're going to go for. And we saw it a couple of times where they just run around us and we had no clue what was going on. What we took for granted as players was the corner kick when we were like, oh, someone else will stay back. It's fine. I want to get a goal because this will be my Champions League goal. It's only Istanbul. We'll be fine. That's what we took for granted. It was absolutely terrible. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm absolutely so done with this United team.
I think
so done with every single player in that squad. And when we win at the weekend, they'll be absolutely fine.
Games, no, we're not going to win.
Right. James isn't playing. I don't give him a chance.
I think the Istanbul game, I think Ollie got it wrong again. We can't keep saying this. It was almost as if he went, all right, we'll have Matic. You can hold, and then everyone else can just do what you want. It was literally like that. You had Van der Beek, who was meant to be, or in the starting formation I saw, was meant to be alongside Matic. He was in the box more than bloody Rashford. I didn't even see Rashford all games, honest. I thought that was one of the worst games he's played as well.
Yeah.
Is everything make or break on Sunday now or Saturday?
Yeah.
Is it make or break?
Yeah. Where are we in the league? 16th?
Yeah.
16th in the league. We got embarrassed by Istanbul. We got embarrassed by Arsenal.
I say you got embarrassed by us. I mean,
we didn't make
well.
a good showing.
We don't usually win, but
I think we did. I think we did in a way of the way that we played. You didn't embarrass us. We embarrassed ourselves.
Yeah. Or did you embarrass yourself?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, we got embarrassed
against you guys. I think I want to say MEN came out and said that we've contacted Poch over perhaps taking the role. I don't know how much of that is just it's obvious that we might do it in the next, 40 years. So they're going to report it now and just hope it comes true. But it has to be time calling soon for Ollie if it carries on like this. But it's just annoying because I know that I'm being reactive right now. I think we've only lost 4 games this whole calendar year, 3 or 4 games now. So we've been good all year. We've had an amazing streak. I think we had the longest unbeaten streak since Sir Alex left or something like that with Ollie. And it's like, that was just a couple months ago. But how can we be so different? And it is just a poor patch of form. But the issue is, last year at the same time, we had a poor patch of form. Ole Gunnar Solskjær is only now looking like he can do different tactical flexibilities. We still don't necessarily have a plan A, where we are the big team and someone's going to have to react to us. I don't think that the club will pull the trigger. I think the club respects him too much. But
is it not the perfect time to do it though if you lose on the weekend?
No.
Going into an international break.
There's no perfect time for Ole Gunnar Solskjær. There is going to be no perfect time unless we lose like 10 in a row, because he's a club legend, beloved. He almost seems to be like Sir Alex's like long lost son, and firing him from the role, no matter how badly the team does, is still.
Yeah, but James, a club legend doesn't mean you can't get sacked. Like, you can't just say, "Oh, he did well."
It makes it harder, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. But it doesn't mean that we should sack him after he's lost only 4 games in like a calendar year.
But I think if we want to get back up to the being a good, bigger club on the pitch, we have to make big decisions. We can't just. We had the good times when he was the caretaker manager. I think then is probably when you think, right, you got us through that. Let's start again. But we can't look back and think now. We just have to look forward. And I don't think Solskjær can take us forward with this team.
I just think for me, my worst time as a football fan is when it's a new manager coming in, and I think a lot of people love it and thrive off it. I've only had it 4 times now in my life at United, and it's just a period of so much uncertainty that if anything, I might just take being average over possibly being worse.
Well, you're saying we've been average, but you're sat here fuming.
Yeah, we've not been. We're like 16th. We won a couple games. We've beaten Leipzig.
You can't say that. You can't say, "Oh, we've won a couple of games and now we're 16th in the league. Hallelujah!" Like,
we're 16th in the league and almost guaranteed of getting out of Champions League.
I don't think he will be sacked if you lose. But I think it could be a good time to have a rethink, and then maybe if results continue being bad, the next international break. We are going to take a break. After that, we will come back and we will talk about Liverpool versus Man City, biggest game of the weekend, and react to another poor England squad. Make sure you join us after the break. Welcome back, part 2 of Footy Talks Pod. Big game this weekend. The 2 title favorites, arguably, go ahead.
No. Didn't know West Ham United were playing in it.
Man City, Liverpool. I can see this being a dreadful game, to be honest with you.
It's going to be the worst City Liverpool in a good while, just because of injuries mainly, but it's going to be bad. Well, not bad. It might actually turn out to be a brilliant game.
I think City might run riot.
yeah.
City will run riot. I think that they will do very well.
Why?
I just think they will. I've just got that feeling. I just do.
See, I think it could be the other way around. Well, actually, no. I think it could be like both teams run a bit riot. It could be one of them that's like I don't know. If it turns out 5-4, it could happen. And it looks good.
I think for the league, I want City to win.
Yeah, I'd want City to win.
Yeah.
No.
I want what's their name? I've forgotten their name. Everton. I want Everton to win. And I think they will. No, but like
you want Everton to beat Man United. You're a Man United fan. You want Everton to beat you.
Yeah. I want Hammers to be lifting that trophy, not Jordan Henderson.
James, you've gone down in my estimation.
But City, Liverpool, you've got like 2. The way I'm looking at it, okay. So you've got a great Liverpool attack against the worst City defence in a good while. So they could do well. The issue is their defence is awful. And City, do they still not have Aguero? I'm not sure.
No.
They still got who's that Belgian kid that they've got?
De Bruyne?
Yeah, that's it. Apparently he's all right, so he might actually do something against a pretty weak Liverpool defence. But then again, they've got a midfield that can kind of sit back a bit, do all the hard work and kind of combat it. But it's like, it's just so fascinating how both teams have had such like bits taken away from them. It's like, they're half-finished puzzle pieces now, when just a year ago they were both the box and all when you can take it out pristine. And it just is. I think it's going to be a great game.
The way that Liverpool played in the week, I think they have a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
Like Jota looked very good, really. Looked better than Firmino.
Jota start over Firmino for you now.
Yeah.
Because Jota, he looked great.
I don't know. I can see it being a dreadful game, just because both are struggling with injuries.
Yeah, but when you've got someone like Jota on form, and it's like there was a lot of talk in the week of does Jota start over Firmino? Because obviously Firmino loves to be slated by rival fans, especially United fans, in the replies to many a tweet about how, as a forward, he doesn't score many goals. And he doesn't, because I don't think that's his primary role. But if Jota can do the hat-tricks and can maybe do what Firmino partly does, does he start there? Or I still think he's maybe a Mane replacement for a couple of years' time. Then just prep him. But
I think soon he will start there. Not against City, though.
No?
No, I think it's too early.
Okay. So a couple more like Champions League.
Yeah, he needs to be there for a little bit longer to put, because the game against City is massive. Whoever wins this, well, if someone does win it, like they're gonna really, I think they'll push on and do very well. But Firmino is he's crucial to how they play. So I would put Firmino in over him. Maybe in a few weeks if Jota carries on with his undeniably great form in the Champions League and stuff, then surely he warrants a place, but not just yet. That's what I think.
I think Klopp has his tried and trusted teams. Are Liverpool and Man City still the title favourites?
Yes.
I'd say so.
I don't know. They're title favourites. It's just other people have joined them in a way.
Yeah.
They've
just been them two. There's maybe a couple others.
I think they've dropped enough points that Chelsea and Spurs can be kind of in it. Not Chelsea. Why not Chelsea?
They've not convinced me at all this season. I've genuinely not been convinced at all by them.
I haven't either. I think they're so close to it. Like, they've got the right players. They've got kind of a defence vaguely working now. They've got Edouard Mendy in there, and Thiago Silva looks to be back to his prime. Who said that he couldn't do it in the Premier League and that Liga was a bunch of farmers? But Timo Werner and Havertz, if they kick on and do something, could they not push Lampard back?
They've got the right pieces. I don't know if they've put their pieces in the right order. They've not quite built that jigsaw.
Is it the puzzle piece assembler, Frank Lampard, that's going to be the issue for them not putting on a title chance there?
I
don't know why I'm loving this puzzle piece metaphor, but I actually adore it.
I think it's the age-old. It's what I find quite a lot on Football Manager. I signed so many players. I almost signed too many, and they don't quite all fit.
So that's because you're not good at the game, Josh. All right, you just learn. I like to be. All right.
Well, Frank Lampard could well be in a similar spot. Maybe he's just not. I don't think
not
he's bad
good at the real life Football Manager.
I think it's a bigger job than maybe he's got the experience to do right now.
Yeah.
Maybe. What about Spurs then? Can Spurs kick on?
Don't get me started. I had a debate with some of my friends yesterday.
Why not?
They said that Spurs. Let me get it up. They said Spurs. Something about Spurs winning a trophy this season. Let me see.
Well, they could win the Europa.
They're going to win the treble, right?
Spurs are not winning a trophy this season. Do not make me laugh.
No, they're going to win 3.
No, they are not. They are not getting any silverware this season.
Tottenham Arsenal Europa League final. Yeah. Gareth Bale last minute header.
That would be mad. I don't think they can win one. They've got the squad and they've got Mourinho, who we know is a trophy winner. So I think that they could win one. Will they?
I think they're more likely, minus the Community Shield. I think they're more likely than you to win a trophy.
Spurs do not have the mentality to win a trophy.
Right.
They got Mourinho, a serial trophy winner.
Jose Mourinho, I think the effect that he has over a squad can change that mentality. He's made them into the bastards of the Premier League. He's made them into the most hated team in a way, as in when you go out on the pitch and you got Eric Lamela throwing shadow punches at you, you're going to punch him back and get banned for 3 games. I'm looking at you, Anthony Martial. But the thing is, Spurs might be still just about getting there with that mentality. And when you got Jose, who's a world-renowned defensive coach, and you got some kids called Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, and Gareth Bale, who I've heard are pretty decent in attack on their day. They could, if they just sort that out,
go with it,
and let them do their thing. And Jose spends his training sessions sorting out the back line and getting that in form. I think they've got something going there. The only issue then is getting a midfield that works. And you know what? They're getting that sorted as well. Because Pierre Højbjerg is doing fantastic. Tanguy Ndombele actually looks like a decent, more than decent playmaker box to box. He finally looks like, I think Jose, where he kind of kicked him a bit last year, he now has the confidence in him to play. And that's showing in his performances. Spurs kind of have the stars aligning a little bit.
Yeah, but then what do you think they can win then? Premier League or is it a cup?
Europa League.
A cup's more realistic.
Yeah.
And I think a cup would be just as fine with Spurs supporters. Whether they have a title is in the league, I don't know. I know it was on the, what's it called? James and Flav Fanal podcast. And they said that maybe Spurs having an attack so good is going to be their issue, because more teams will put research into them and figure out how to undo them, because they're going to go, oh my God, it's Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, double shifts for the next week, just so we don't concede too many against that.
I don't know. I might be a bit hasty. I think they'll finish above us this season in the league. I can't, and I don't know if it's wishful thinking, but I can't see them winning a trophy. Are they still in the Carabao Cup?
I don't know. So I'll have a look for you.
Because we're playing Man City. Are you still?
We've got Norwich. No, we haven't.
We've got Everton.
We've got Everton.
You've got Everton. We've got City.
Spurs are out. Oh, actually, no. Sorry. Spurs have Stoke.
Spurs have Stoke. Right. I think. I don't know. I don't think they'll win their trophy this year, but I think I'll go on the record and say Mourinho won't be there by the end of next season.
So, okay, maybe, but do you won a trophy last year, right?
Yeah.
FA Cup?
Yeah. 2 trophies.
What's the difference between your guys' mentality last year to a Spurs mentality now?
Because that squad...
Did you guys have a serial title winning mentality that Spurs don't?
We have a trophy winning mentality. I don't think... No, I mean, come on. I mean, there's players in that squad. That squad have won trophy.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
As an Arsenal squad. Rob Holding, Bellerin.
You started with Rob Holding?
Sure.
No.
Rob Holding's a beast.
Man United are going to win the league this year. Yeah. Tahith Chong.
He's actually on loan at Bremen this year.
Oh,
so.
shush, I know.
Rob Holding played in the 2017 FA Cup final. Bellerin, Xhaka, El Neni was there. Although he wasn't there last season. You have players there who have won trophies at Arsenal and away from Arsenal. Gareth Bale, I think...
Gareth Bale, I don't think, has the drive to carry a squad on his back.
This is what I mean. I don't know if the Spurs have the mentality or the experience. We've got to finals and lost with that squad as well. We've got to semi-finals and lost with that squad as well. Yeah. Spurs haven't quite reached that yet.
You got the Champions League final.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean consistently. I'm
going to put this to you, which might change your mind about people that have won trophies. A Premier League in 2002-03, 03-04, Premier League in 04-05, 05-06, and 14-15, a Serie A in 08-09, 09-10, a La Liga in 11-12, a Champions League as well in 09-10, Oh, and a Coppa Italia in 09-10, a FA Cup runners-up medal in 2017-2018. And he's had a couple of coaches of the years and team of the years.
This is
But
this happened
it's not just on the
Mourinho's
management.
accolades.
I genuinely think Mourinho has the power to turn a squad's mentality around just like that. He did it at United. It's how he won.
And he's probably his best achievement is getting that United team to second. So.
Yeah,
but he also has the ability to completely lose his dressing room.
Yeah, that's after 3 seasons.
He's not in that kind of cycle yet. His cycle comes where he comes in, causes a bit of controversy, and the players are like, some of them go to him and some of them don't. Second year tends to be everyone bloody loves him. He tends to win something then. And he looks like he's actually like getting players on his side. And it's players like Harry Kane, him and Son, who are loving their football right now. Players like Højbjerg, who behind the scenes are going to absolutely love the fact that they're playing at Spurs in the first team and looking like a great defensive mid. I think it's going to work. I don't know why. I hate Spurs. I absolutely hate Spurs with all my guts. I really like them.
I think if it comes down to it, whether they're going to win a trophy, they'll at least win one either this season or next season.
Yeah.
They have to. For the club, for everything, as much as it hurts to say, I think they will.
Yeah. But you said Mourinho's going to get, sacked at the end of next year?
I said he won't be there by the end of the 2021-22 season.
Okay, I vaguely agree because it could all go downhill right now like that. It may be too soon for it. I feel bad even saying it because they're doing so well. Who takes over after Mourinho?
Ole,
I agree. I think he's a tactical mastermind, and I think he really takes Spurs to the next level.
he's a serial winner.
It'll be someone like Eddie Howe, or there'll be something.
Allegri.
Well, do you want to see the best link in football ever?
Go on.
It may not be Jose Mourinho out the door this year, but it could well be Gareth Southgate.
I bloody well hope so. Especially with this most recent England.
I love that, James, by the way. That was a good...
Brilliant segue. I'm at the point I'm starting to just get bored of international football.
I'm amazed it's only started now for you, mate.
No, but it's like, sometimes it's like, oh, we've got 2 weeks away from the Premier League. But it's like, right, it's England. It's a chance to see players that you won't normally see together, or...
Yeah, it's a nice little like freshen up of, you get to see some truly, I think it's safe to say, world-class players playing together in one squad, and it's like, it's not Liverpool or City. It's watching like Jadon Sancho, and actually having an opportunity to watch that. So I get what you mean, but yeah. But
it's starting to get to the point now. I think the highs of the World Cup were so great, and everyone loved international football. But I like the Nations League. I like the more competitive aspect of it.
But it's not competitive, though. It's boring still.
Yeah, but I mean, there's something there. I mean, I like international friendlies where you play sort of like obscure teams and England win 8-0, whatever it is.
You like that as boring as well. Why would I want to watch England-Malta?
Because we score.
Pretty nice kits over the past few years. So
I do watch the football matches and go, oh, look at that kit. I don't care.
But I think some of the squads most recently have been nothing short of embarrassing. And I think...
I wouldn't go as far as saying embarrassing.
They have been embarrassing. You cannot pick a team and not include the left back. I don't care that Ben Chilwell is our best left back and was injured. You pick a left back. Even if you pick one, you pick a left back.
Well, I haven't really looked in the squad that much. Have we not picked a left back?
No, this was two teams ago. This time he's picked 6 right backs and 1 left back.
But we have the best right backs in the world, so...
He's picked 6 of them.
He's only got 1 right back position on the pitch, and I think Gareth Southgate forgets that. I think Gareth Southgate kind of thinks that like you can play a right back at left back and he'll do the same job. when in reality it's a completely different way of how
Kieran
they.
Trippier cannot play left back. I'm sorry, he cannot play left back.
No. Don't be sorry. Say with your chest.
Right, he cannot play
Big
left
man.
back. I think the system doesn't work. It worked in the World Cup because of who we played. It doesn't work now. Kyle Walker isn't a centre back.
I disagree.
I think he's very good at centre back.
He
We
can
need
do
the
all
pace.
right.
Centre back, but he's not a centre
agree.
back. And I think we have better centre backs, natural centre backs in the squad than him.
Who? If you say Harry Maguire, I won't want you.
Joe Gomez is a better centre back than Kyle Walker. Connor Cody is a better centre back than Kyle Walker.
Yeah.
Michael Keane is a better centre back.
No.
No.
He's a better centre half than Kyle Walker.
No, he's not.
I think our system lets us down. Because I think if you play a 4-3-3.
No, we've got to play three at the back.
No.
Why?
You play 4. Right. I will name you my starting team based on what I think Southgate would do. Oh, no, actually. I think if we're being fair, this is what I think England's team should be.
Oh, he's getting his pen out. He's on a run. This is great.
Just change one name.
Another Fletcher on. Let's go.
Okay, so in the squad, he's picked Dean Henderson, Nick Pope, and Jordan Pickford.
Pickford's still the number one, though.
Okay, I would start Henderson.
But you can't. Southgate just said Pickford is the number one. He's saying.
Yeah, right. But I'm picking my England team.
But you're not the England manager.
Fine. Say Pickford. Fine. We'll say Pickford because he's England's number one.
Nick
You
Pope.
have a back four of Chilwell, Gomez, Cody, and Trent.
Right.
I don't personally like him, but I think he's our best holding midfielder. You go, or one of our best. You go Henderson, Rice, Grealish.
Why do we need Henderson and Rice?
Because we're playing Connor Cody and who was it behind him?
Joe Gomez.
Joe Gomez.
Gomez, yeah, that's why.
Why do we need two defensive midfielders? This is what I hate about England. We don't need two defensive midfielders.
Then I'd stick Ward-Prowse in there. I'd have Ward-Prowse in there. But I think Southgate likes Henderson, and I'd go.
No, he likes Mason Mount.
Well, right. So this week, what's coming up in the next week is a match against
Ireland, Belgium, and Iceland.
So I think, say for the Belgium match, it makes sense to do that.
And then my front three, I'd say Sancho, Rashford, Kane, but I think you can have Sterling in there for either of the wingers, and it works. You've got to place your talents, and you've got to have three up front. You've got to place your talents, and you've got to have a creative midfielder. You have to. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Whether it's Mount, whether it's Grealish,
say it with your chest.
Whether it's Mount, whether it's Grealish, whether it's Maddison, who's not in the squad, whoever it is, you've got to place your strengths. You cannot have your system and make players fit your favourite way of playing. You've got to tailor to your strengths. And our
issue is though
in attack.
Right. The issue is when we're saying that, then we need to think about, does Trent Alexander-Arnold play? Because he's the best right back in the world, obviously. Everyone can see it.
He's not the
But
best.
if we're playing to our strength of attack, are we going to play such an attacking right back? Because then we're going to have to play the two DMs. Because you're going to have to play someone like Henderson who knows he has to cover Trent. And I think if you're like focusing so much on the attack and Trent's going to bomb forward, Ben Chilwell is solid enough defensively that he maybe will, but he'll just be a supporting, and that's fine. Can Trent play like that? Because in Liverpool, he's a massive part of the setup. And when Trent doesn't play well, like he hasn't this season, Liverpool don't play well like they haven't this season.
I get your point. If Trent attacks, Joe Gomez fills in from right centre back to right back, and Declan Rice drops in during the attack.
Can Declan Rice do that though? Is that part of his kind of?
Declan Rice can play centre back.
Yeah, he can. He can. But I'm saying, does he have kind of the instinct to do that? Because whenever I watch Declan Rice play, as much as we say he's defensive midfielder, he's fine with moving forward with the team. And that seems to be what he lends more so to. Whereas I think it would be the Henderson that would be the dropping back and filling in at right wing back.
This is a problem I have with Harry Kane being England's captain. Because for me, he's at the front. He's the furthest player forward most of the time. He cannot see what's going on behind him.
Yeah, but you don't need the captain you have a defensive leader for that. That's what you don't need the captain to tell everyone what to do. If a defender is a leader, then like
I think you need someone back there, captain, barking orders.
The centre back can still do that.
Yeah.
You've got Cody there, who's a good captain. You've got Henderson, who can start doing that. Declan Rice is fine at it. He does it enough at West Ham, anyways.
I think a 4-3-3 suits our players best.
I probably agree.
But there's still points of contention. I think Grealish should start more than he does. I think we really need to consider our goalkeeper. We've got two of the best right backs are English and have declared themselves to play for England.
Which ones?
I think Reece James and Trent. Reece James has been brilliant this season. I'm sorry, he's a great player.
I mean, you're right, but because my agenda, I disagree.
Wan-Bissaka,
You're right and you're wrong.
No, but Wan-Bissaka declared himself for Congo. If he declared himself for England, then I'd put him over Reece James.
Has there been news of? Has he definitely said I'm playing?
Aaron Wan-Bissaka is still open to playing for England.
Just because he put the Congolese flag on his thing.
I thought he declared himself for Congo. Did he not?
I don't know if he's done it officially.
No,
he just put it on his
Instagram. Congo flag in his Insta bio, and everyone's ran with it.
Yeah.
Right. I thought he declared himself for Congo rather than England.
Just for some reason, Southgate doesn't pick him because James played in the under-21s or something. So.
Yeah, Gareth Southgate is very much like play with players that he's familiar with, which is why Mason Mount gets in over Jack Grealish, which is why Reece James gets the call up over Aaron Wan-Bissaka, even last year when Wan-Bissaka was playing probably better at times.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Wan-Bissaka played well. And I think that's where we see Jack Grealish suffer. I'd go out on a whim and probably say things I don't believe this, but it could well be something that I'd believe. Jack Grealish is England's best player, as in he's the most influential to a game. No other player gets Villa performing as well as they do that's English, other than Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish is the only man that can do that. And so why we aren't using him in a similar way to England, where we struggle so much and we don't go, oh, this kid who's getting Aston Villa to play all right, let's actually have him as our talisman. It surprises me.
I don't know. Is it?
James, can I ask you something?
Yep.
Who's worse, Ole or Southgate?
Southgate.
Why?
Gareth Southgate couldn't beat PSG in Leipzig. But Ole would still lose to Iceland. Or no,
would Ole get to the semi-final of the World Cup?
That was not down to Southgate. I'm sorry.
Oh no, that wasn't. I'm just saying that on the basis of it. England didn't even deserve to get out to get past Colombia. But that's besides the point. But like, he was still the manager.
Ole would get us there. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
He's going to keep his job until at least the Euros, and I can imagine. I can't see England sacking him or.
England will never sack him. The FA will never sack Southgate. Southgate is a yes man to them. He'll do whatever the FA want him to do.
So, what will it? So you don't think it could take anything? Like not even like.
Well, yeah, obviously it would take if we don't get out of our group in the Euros, then yes. Yeah. But the people, I bet the fans will look at the World Cup and think, "Oh my God, we got to the semi-final of the World Cup, or we bottled it against Croatia." But we'll still think, oh, we're the best. We'll get to the final of the Euros. So that's what the fans will think. That's what I get of it.
Yeah.
I think everyone was so blinded by the fact we got to the semi-final of the World Cup. But the fact is that we took the easiest route and bottled it.
I think 2 years, people are starting to see now and starting to see that Southgate isn't this brilliant man everyone thinks he is. He's not.
Yeah. I think he will have been sitting for a while.
He's not fulfilling the promises he made. He's not sticking by his word. He's not picking players who deserve to be picked.
What England manager has have gone out and said this, and they do the opposite. Like,
this is what I mean.
Yes, but this is why the England job's kind of like one of the. I say the English job is probably one of the hardest jobs to have because you're under the spotlight so much, and if everything you say gets ridiculed, like you can't.
Yeah, I
would have loved Allardyce to stay in the job for longer to see because he's completely opposite to Southgate. He would have played not the best football, but I'd have loved to see him more. But
why though? He wouldn't have gotten the best out of our team.
I just thought I think it'd be entertaining. Just Allardyce as a manager, really.
Maybe that, but it's like I don't know. I just think we're doing the same thing we back when we did with the Golden Generation, where we've got a lot of good attacking talent. We're just trying to shove them in one team, and it's not going to work.
We've got mediocre, like we have with Sven.
Mason Mount is these false goals.
It's tricky. Are we taking the Nations League seriously? Is it something we want to progress in, or do we just not care?
I don't care.
What's the whole goal of winning the Nations League? What does it do?
It's another thing to win, isn't it?
It's just a trophy.
Do we qualify for the Euros? Because we normally get a very easy qualifying group anyway.
It guarantees if you don't qualify through your group, I think it guarantees a place or it guarantees a playoff place. But we're going to qualify.
So what's the point? Because we literally qualify. We get the easiest group all the time to qualify into the Euros. So that's what makes international that's what makes qualifying so pointless for big tournaments because we all think, we're going to do really well when we win 9 or 10 games out of 10 because we play Malta, Scotland. No offense to Scottish people, but Scotland, like San Marino, all them lot. Like it just there's no point in it.
I don't know.
Yeah, but you still have to do it just to give everyone a fair chance, isn't it?
I know, but there's got to be a way that. But then you see other big teams. Like I think Germany and Italy were in the same qualifying groups. Like why is England? I know maybe I might be sounding stupid because then we always go to the big tournaments, but that's just not good to watch in my opinion. But I never think, yes, we've got Malta away this week. I'm so looking forward to it.
I don't know.
I don't even think that when we're like, we've got Belgium coming up.
No, not anymore.
It's a tricky one. I think it's the only good thing about this international break is that it's the end of pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It's the only good thing.
That was absolutely ridiculous.
Thank God.
I don't know. I think we'll probably beat Ireland. I don't want to jump the gun. We'll probably beat Iceland at Wembley if we haven't already played them. Is it Iceland this week at Wembley?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we played them away and it was the penalties in the last minute, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then
Great by Iceland.
Belgium away is going to be tricky. But I think we need to win both to go to the finals of the Nations League. I think. I don't know. It could be fun, but we did. Did we lose to Portugal or Holland last time we got to the Nations League finals?
No, again, we played Holland and we didn't really play that well either. We lost to Holland and then we beat Switzerland in the
playoff.
We came third. Yeah, one on pens.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be fun. It's just a break from you. Man United fans, you should be excited. It's a break from losing every week.
But no, this is how bad it gets. Like I don't care. England is so bad. I'd rather watch us lose to Everton than watch England.
It's like
I'd rather watch Man United all the time rather than England anyway.
We can watch United play badly, or we can watch Gareth Southgate ruin our nation's brightest talents. They're both like watching paint dry.
Same old story.
I'd rather it be red paint.
Fair, I get that. Anything else you're looking forward to this weekend with the football? Arsenal Villa, Leicester.
Where's that?
Games. It is at the Emirates.
Oh,
I think. Yes, it's at the Emirates.
Jack Grealish masterclass inbound.
Probably.
No.
Man United. No, not Man United. Man United Everton's a good game. Leicester Wolves would be a good game.
That's a very big game actually because they're both up there, aren't they? Leicester Wolves.
I think, do we have to take Leicester seriously again this season to push for Champions League?
No.
No?
They'll do what they did last year, and Rodgers will do what Rodgers has done at Liverpool. They get there and then they bottle it. Like,
the squad's not strong enough to get them to Champions League.
they might win the Europa League. But...
I don't know. We'll see. I think that's it. We've covered everything we wanted to. We will be back next week during the international break. We'll do something a bit different. We'll do a quiz or something. I don't know.
We'll do one of your special quizzes, George.
That sounds really dodgy. Special quiz. We'll do something fun. I don't know. We'll see. We might see if we can get a special guest or something.
We'll place bets on which England player Gareth Southgate will ruin the career of first.
No, we could get Ollie on because he's going to get sacked. So we could have an interview. Yeah.
Exclusive.
We can try and get Ole Gunnar Solskjær on as our first guest.
So sponsor us, give us some money, and then we'll get him on.
We'll see. We'll do something a bit different. We'll have some fun with it. In the meantime, thank you for watching or listening, or neither, which probably applies to most people.
Why would they know about what you're saying? Why are you saying thank you for the people that aren't here?
I don't know.
Another class outro by Joshua Fletcher.
I know, I'm terrible, aren't I? Like, subscribe, comment, share, do all the usual business. Follow all the list on Twitter. Follow the podcast on Twitter. Continue to laugh at Man United, especially when they lose on Sunday. Thank you.